All right. All right, baby. This is your man, the hottest in the game, DJ DMV, the Don of 365 The Grind Radio Show. You're listening to WMIU Radio. That's worldwide urban. All right, worldwide mainstream independent urban radio, and we're featuring and premiering today hardcore talk radio out of the DMV, maybe that's DC, Maryland, Virginia. I got my co-hosts on here. They're co-host of the show, Miss Parker and my man Chopper Malone. Let them introduce themselves as well. Go ahead.
Hey everyone, this is Miss Parker. Uh, First time on the show, so looking forward to chatting it up with you guys. Thank you for having me, Don.
All right.
What's going on, DMV? Chopper Malone, Mr. 804, Richmond, Virginia, 703-301. Of course, Talk Radio, we up.
All
I
right.
can chop it up.
All right, and man, what we gonna do on the show, man? Let me set the premise for y'all so y'all know. Man, we want to be similar to the Breakfast Club, but not similar in all aspects. Meaning, we want to be as successful as they are, if not greater. But we want to be known for not just talking about things that are breaking news, which we're gonna give you. Trending topics that's all over the social media networks that's worth talking about. We're gonna give you that. We're gonna give you a little tea too, but we ain't gonna give you too much trash as well, man. We try and keep that where it is. We got our lane and they got their lane, and we're gonna stick to it. But we want to definitely cover important subject content and important content that matters to all of us. Don't matter what ethnicity that you are, or where you born, or where you come from. We want to cover important contents that's going to help you grow, change mindsets, and also, man, make an impact by not just talking about it but doing it. And that's what the show Hardcore is all about. We're gonna give you the raw truth. And with saying that, I want my girl, Miss Parker, to go ahead and start it off with some thought process that we've been talking about, and that's what's been going on out here in these cities across the country with these police out here, which me and John kind of touched on. Me and my man Chopper Malone touched on in the first show, and I just want to kind of piggyback on that. So I'm gonna let you hear from Miss Parker, and then I'm gonna get into some excerpts from his and hers that I thought was very, very powerful, talking about the same subject. So go ahead, Miss Parker.
Okay, well, we were just recently discussing the latest shooting that happened in Miami, where the therapist was kind of treating or coaching his patient who had gotten away from a group. And when the police approached, now the call came in for a white male who had a gun and who he was a suicide threat. So when the police pulled up, of course, the therapist immediately put his hands up, lays down on the ground, and he's informing them who he is, what he was doing. He was unarmed, yet they shot him anyway. So none of this is new to any of us. I mean, I'm not even sure if any of us are still surprised at what's going on with black folks and police officers, but what I was more surprised at is when the guy asked the officer, "Why did you shoot me?" The officer said, "I don't know."
Yeah, that was crazy.
So, yeah, of course, this is just becoming more and more of an issue of what's going on, not only in our neck of the woods, but all over the world, to the point where the Black Lives Matter movement has now traveled. I think John was saying to Japan. This is the first I'm hearing about that, but I definitely, yeah, they're over in Rio de Janeiro on a 4-day visit in lieu of the Olympics, that's to be held over there. I'm sorry, what was that?
Go ahead.
Well, they're over there as a part of what they call Juho Negro or Black July.
Okay.
So pretty much they're over there trying to help the situation there because it's the same thing over there. So it's not even just something that's going on in the U.S. This is a worldwide problem that we have to face.
And
So
that is
something has to be done about it.
yeah, that is so true, so true. And me myself, with you uh, giving me a little bit of knowledge there, I'm going to actually take that knowledge, which we hope that all our listeners out there do, is don't just listen to the things we saying and what we talking about. Try to educate yourself on it because, like Tupac used to say, man, each one teach one. You have to be able to take information, and information and knowledge is nothing if you don't do something with it. So, with that being said, man, appreciate that bit of tea right there. And John, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I mean, what is the outcome of all this, you think? I mean, if the movement is moving, it's all over, but what is the solution?
Well, me and Miss Parker, we kind of touched on that a little bit. We chopped it up a little bit before we came on the air. And what I think people need to understand is this. You're not. This has been going on since I was out in the street hustling. So
Yeah, but
I'm not,
it's
I'm not.
like I said,
Go ahead.
we talked about it, but social media wasn't out like then, Don. Remember, it wasn't. It was out, but it was under the rug kind of sort of. You know what I mean? And now, but now that social media, cell phone video, and people can record and put on Facebook, now it's pushed into the limelight. Now they have to deal with it, but I seem like they're taking their time with it. You know what I mean?
It's always, let me say it like this, because I think if I say it like this, it'll make more sense to folks like me who've always been. I'm a product of the hood. I'm a product
Environment.
Of low income. I'm a product of the struggle. And the struggle ain't gone away just 'cause social media is popping, or everybody got videos to be able to video certain stuff that's happening. It's just showing you what's been going on. It's like a mirror.
Right.
If you get up in the morning and go in your bathroom, most people got a mirror in there, right? You look in the mirror, you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you do all that. But when you look in the mirror, you don't really realize the mirror is there until you look in it. So it's the same metaphor or the same type of mentality when you talk about what's been going on. Black Lives Matter is a movement. It's not the answer. It's just something for all of us to be able to support, just like a lot of other movements that are out here. That's just one
Right.
that everybody understands. When you say Black Lives Matter, everybody understands what you're talking about. So that's powerful in itself by the words. Just saying that is
Yeah.
powerful enough. I remember listening to Tupac say something about remember when you say niggas, how powerful that word is. When you say that, people stop. You can say nigga in a room, and everybody in that room would have heard what you said. You understand what I'm saying? So just saying that word
Yeah.
is powerful. So what he was saying is, Tupac was saying, and he was contradictive in a lot of things, but the brother thought process was off the chain. Like I said, he used to talk about a lot of things that they teaching in Stanford, one of the most highly academic colleges in America. And this man poems and thought process about the way he articulated things in rhymes and things like that are still said to this day. The brother always said there are things in this country that are not willing to die for, but you living, you being a so-called nigga, you being black, you being a woman and a man struggling, those are things that are worth dying for. And I remember having a conversation at my 9 to 5, and I was talking about the difference between when our parents were struggling and when we was out there struggling, coming up, and the difference between then and now. And people don't look at struggle as a struggle no more. The stuff that we talking about, Black Lives Matters, folks getting killed, rape, all those things, those are things that ain't happened yesterday, ain't happened because Facebook blew up or whatever. Those have been things that have always been part of our society. But the difference is when my parents was growing up, they wouldn't let certain things pass without challenging it or going out marching,
Yeah.
standing up for it. And I could say even when I was coming up, there were certain things that, my bad, certain things that we didn't let just get swept under the rug either. And I'm telling you, if
So
in
I guess it goes back to what John was asking, like what's going to be the solution? Because, like you stating, the Black Lives Matter movement isn't something that this is none of these movements and organizations is new to our communities. I mean, we've been fighting to have our voices heard
mhm,
since the Black Panther. It seems like every time we try and come up with something that's for us to protect us and defend us against these outlandish laws and things that are put in place to destroy us, they find a way to call it a terrorist group or make it like it's mainly about violence and everything. So it's something has to be done. We cannot continue to depend on, like you were saying earlier, the president. He's only allowed to touch on certain things and certain issues because he's always being scrutinized. Everything he does, it says, is being heavily watched. We don't even know how deep it goes with the president. If he does touch on it too much, he may lose his freedom, or even his life, for that matter. So
it's crazy.
something has to be done. It has
Yeah.
to be a solution to it. I believe for every problem there is a solution.
But this what I think the
It's
solution is.
been going on for so long though.
But this the
Going on
solution.
for so long.
This the solution.
Everybody keeps that solution, but
You have to use like we doing right now, like we talking about it and chopping it up. We have to continue to talk about it. We can't let it go away. I heard somebody had tweeted out something about something that happened last year, and they said that they gonna continue to do it every single birthday of this person that had passed. They gonna continue to keep tweeting and posting stuff and keep talking about it because they not gonna let it be forgotten. And I think that's all we have to keep on talking. We have to keep on going out here marching. We have to keep, and then I think what we need to do most importantly is, as a community, we need to have a town hall meeting with each other and decide what we can do amongst each other because I know all of us remember when there were certain things happening in your community where you lived at, the whole neighborhood supported it. And now, you know what I'm saying, we done got so far away from that it don't happen unless somebody putting it together and there's maybe some hidden agenda in there or whatever. And then some people do have a passion for trying to make things happen in their community, so they are doing positive things in the community. We just don't know about it because we not there. You know what I'm saying? Just like last night when we were on the phone chopping it up with our chop up session, and Van, Miss Parker, you even told us the things that go on at your kickball activity that happens where you bringing a lot of people from different areas and different genres together, and then y'all just go out there and have fun and enjoy it. But the thing about that is that same type of environment that you in, no one would know about it unless they were part of it, someone told them about it or whatever. And I think it's the same thing when you're talking about Black Lives Matter or any movement or any foundation that's supposed to bring awareness to a great cause. We have to be part of it. We have to talk about it. And just talking about it ain't enough. You actually have to do something. And I believe right now what we're doing.
I definitely believe that.
Yeah, we have to.
Definitely believe that
Yeah.
there's more we could be doing.
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Alright.
I think it starts with the higher ups because those are the one who has more of an influence on being heard. It starts with our professional athletes
Yep.
and
And
the people that are put in position. They're making millions of dollars. Once they take a stand, I think it'll go even further than just our small communities coming together because they're using the police to pretty much keep us in control. And I believe that the police, the institutions they were created to control black people and pretty much extinguish black people.
but
So
something
you
you
had
said.
all of these people. Go ahead.
You know something that you said, not to cut you off, but you can go back to your thought. You said something about when the guy had asked the officer that shot him why he shot him, and the officer told
Mhm.
him he didn't know. I mean,
Mhm.
think about that. Think about that, man. I want everybody out there listening and think about what was said. The police officer said he didn't know. Think about that.
Because they have
You could walk out your door right now
that's the answer.
and get shot, and the response would be, "I didn't know why I shot you." I had a lady come in the store who she's part of a lot of different important government activities and stuff like that in the city, and she told me how they went to a function about something that had about some of the killings and stuff that had been happening in the city with some of the government officials and the police officers, and she said one of the police officers stood up and he was white, and he said that he is fearful of a black man. And so a lot of times
Huh?
he didn't want to admit this, but he said a lot of times when he pulled people over and he see that they're black, he's automatically scared and always clutches for his gun. And I told her I thought that was
I
an
find that funny.
right. I thought that was an excuse. I told her because that's
I find that so crazy.
yeah.
That's just crazy because 9 times out of 10, that white woman is more than likely to be killed or harmed by her white son, her white daughter, or her white husband.
Mhm.
And then the fact that black people are the most violent people on this earth, it baffles me because white people, history shows that they are the most violent and have been the most violent people on the face of this earth in history. Like, there's no record
We
of
are
black people
intimidating.
hating
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that
We
goes
are.
back to that's the melanin. That's the melanin in our skin that's intimidating.
Yeah.
We are intimidating, yeah. You know what I mean? We are intimidating. That's all.
So powerful. That's what we are, and I think that's what is intimidating to them. The fact that
Right.
we are. Once we have knowledge of self, there's nothing they can do
Right.
with us.
Right.
We come together, there is strength in numbers, and if you take all the people of color on this
Hey,
planet
hit it on
and
the
put
head.
us together,
Yes,
we will
come together.
definitely be a force.
Right.
That's
Yes,
what
we
it's
come
about.
together. You said it right. Yes, there's too many egos.
Yeah,
Among
it's
black
too
people,
many
there's too many
divisions.
egos. Right.
Too many
No,
divisions. There's
no.
religion.
A person,
Religion is
you wouldn't want to see.
divided.
Right. You wouldn't want to see. The thing about it is, I think my point is, I'm thinking that you don't want to see the next man come up. You don't want to see have a big house, a Benz, on his own business, what have you. You know what I mean? And you struggling out here trying to get yours. So why would you go patronize his business? You know what I mean? Why would you give him your money? I'll take it over here to the next man. I mean, we just have too much. It's too much. Our race is complex. You know what I mean? It's too complex.
I think
Make it that way.
I think it's bigger than that. I think it's way bigger than that because I don't think white people get up in the morning and worry about us in that sense.
They don't.
And nor do we. Not until they get around us in a setting that makes them feel uncomfortable. And I'm just talking about some people, and I ain't even talking about all white people. I got some real good white friends. And what I'm saying is this. We all know how sometime when we get in certain environments, whether you at your job or something, and you get the big wigs come in. You know, most of them are white. They're a team. They socialize with each other. They go home to their big houses. They make six-figure salaries. They don't come in there worried about the average person or us being black or whether you're Latino or whatever it is. They're not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's bigger than that. It's just when you put it in an environment where we have to interact and we're uncomfortable, we have to be able to deal with each other on that level. Like we have to be able to sit down, even when we mad at each other or we don't like each other. We have to be able to sit down and have dialogue that's constructive for each one, and that we can learn how to be better. And the only way you can do that is by doing it on a regular basis. Not doing it when a couple of blacks blacks get killed, or there's unrest going
Right.
on in the suburbs. Somebody, the news. A lot of times I don't even watch it because there's always a lot of coverage and stuff on things that I feel like is not really relevant. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I tend to I look at some of the stuff on social media, and you get more news from social media now than you do your local news. So